Welcome back to the channel. I'm Nathan, a photographer from Maine, and this video is about cameras. I'm fortunate to have collected some fantastic cameras. I've spent a lot of money I don't have on cameras and lenses the past few years. I have expensive cameras I love shooting, like this, and this, and this. I also have less expensive cameras that I get comparable and sometimes even better results out of, like and this, and even this. I nearly forgot one of my best photography cameras because I used it to shoot the video of the other cameras. In this video, I'm talking about photography cameras, but even the gear I use for making video is more than I need. Besides the credit card bill, the problem with all this stuff is that when it comes time to shoot photos, I'm overwhelmed by the choices available to me. The goal of buying all this stuff was to increase my capabilities, not break my brain, but the end result is that I shoot less. That's not what I want, and I don't think that's what any photographer wants. Oh shit, I forgot the drone. I mostly don't shoot that one because the batteries are never charged. So what's the solution? Everyone on photography YouTube talks about how gear doesn't matter. You shouldn't buy gear you can't afford. The newest gear won't positively impact your work. But between those videos, the same channels only talk about gear because the search engine and the suggestion algorithms depend on nouns, and the market prefers those nouns to be product names. Then the same platform, YouTube, that rewards videos that talk about stuff also puts a warning about paid promotion at the beginning of the video. Then there are the forums and feeds, all built around metadata, gear discussions, reviews. Even if the YouTube channels I love weren't selling me on yet another classic film camera because some other influence sold it to them, photography on the internet is centered around two concepts: likes and gear. Obviously, like and subscribe, by the way. I'm not trying to dodge responsibility for my own purchases. Even within a broken influence system, a person can choose to ignore the noise. Maybe I'm naive, and maybe there's not anything more to photography in 2026. Maybe my photography hobby's only purpose is to justify tool purchases and increase numbers in a database. Rinse and repeat, year after year. One band-aid I already applied to my own personal work is to remove the EXIF data from the photos I post online. I recognized that seeing the camera and lens information on photos I loved wasn't helping my desire to acquire more gear. That's not the main problem, but I still like this decision for myself. I've recently taken a more practical step. I removed access to the primary source of all my gear, B&H, and I've put a hard stop on further purchases for the foreseeable future. I already have a dream collection, so it's time to start enjoying the dreams instead of replacing them with more dreams. I've also learned my lesson about selling gear that I end up missing later. That just leads to losing money on repurchasing things, so I've put a hard stop on selling any of the cameras and lenses I currently own as well. What I have now is what I have. That doesn't mean I won't spend money on photography, just much less and on more important things. My Leica M6 is going in for repair, the shutter curtain is sticking enough, I figure it's time to get it fixed before it gets any worse. The last camera I purchased, a Bronica ETRS, arrived from B&H with a non-working film back. So that's going back for a warranty repair. I didn't even get to shoot that one yet. Since those cameras are in the shop, I've decided to shoot mostly, maybe entirely digital for a while. This is right after I finally figured out how to develop my own film. But to address that problem of choice paralysis, I want to put most of my cameras in a drawer for a while and get back to the practice of daily carrying just one or two cameras. That'll probably be the Leica M11 and the Fujifilm X106. So I won't have film costs for a bit, but I'm okay with the relatively small amount of money a few rolls a month would cost me. I may change my mind and make one of those two cameras I carry the Contax G1 if I start missing 35mm film too much. And I'll travel. I have at least 2 trips I know of this year, and I know the photos that I'll get from those trips will give me far greater fulfillment from this photography hobby than another camera ever would. This is the last video of my first first year on YouTube. It fulfills the goal I set out for myself, two videos a month for 1 year. There are aspects of creating these videos that I love. Shooting and editing film is a muscle I hadn't exercised for a while. A forced schedule over the last year made me crash course the basics of film production, then get a little deeper into some of the techniques. And now I'm excited about what else I can learn and how I can best use those skills. The channel achieved the modest goals I had for it, 100 plus subscribers and more views than I would have suspected. It's not enough, obviously, to make a ripple in the YouTube photography world, but it's enough for me to consider continuing doing it at least. What this year taught me about YouTube is what I already suspected. When I put a camera or lens in the thumbnail, I get more views. YouTube decides this is what people want, puts it in front of more people, and more people watch it. Unfortunately, I don't think I've provided much of value besides gear as an alternative. Most of my videos are glorified slideshows with some B-roll and way too many photos from some outing or trip that I took. So I'm going to take a short break, figure out how I want to approach season 2, and do a better job with it. The schedule might change a little bit. It will definitely change a little bit. I don't think that will be more videos. It'll probably be fewer videos, but I want to put a little more thought into them, into what I'm putting out into the world. It doesn't mean there won't be talk about gear at some point. It just means that there is something better, and the point of the photography hobby for me, as not a camera collector, as a photographer, is the photos. I'm very grateful to those of you who have subscribed and especially commented on some of my videos. That means a lot, and it's wonderful for me to see that people have enjoyed some of the things that I put out there. The rest of you, obviously like and subscribe. I won't see you next time because that's not how YouTube works. Bye.